All right, let's get cellular respiration started. Specifically aerobic respiration. We're inside the mitochondria, so let's draw two membranes. The outer membrane, the inner membrane. Okay, so this right here is the outer membrane. I could put little phospholipids in here. Then the second bilayer of phospholipids there, just to orient yourself. And the second membrane. And again, there would be phospholipids. All right, we're going to do the same thing over here because this is really where we're going to do stuff. There's the only problem with doing that. I'm going to undo that. And bring my window in like this. So this is the same membrane as this. And this is the same membrane as this. Let's switch some colors here and start our drawing. I'm going to select an orange, kind of a rusty orange here. So we got pyruvic acid, which was a 3-carbon molecule. Is going to travel into the mitochondria. And the first reaction he goes through is it gets converted to a 2-carbon molecule by losing a carbon as carbon dioxide. That 2-carbon molecule is called acetyl-CoA. When that happens, it couples to the breakdown of a molecule, not the breakdown. When that happens, NAD+ picks up an electron, and a hydrogen ion picks up an electron from the pyruvic acid, and they turn into NADH, which is an electron carrier. That electron carrier going to come into play later on. Let's go back to my, I'm going to switch over to a green color. I don't like that green. It's kind of a mossy green. It's kind of an ugly green. Let's go with fern green. Everyone likes fern green. We're going to take that C2 and it's going to combine with a C4 molecule. For all you math geniuses, I knew you quickly knew that would turn into C6. That C6 happens to be called citric acid, hence the name of the cycle, citric acid cycle. That C6 is going to lose a carbon, become a C5. I'm going to come back to, I'm going to use yellow to show you that carbon come off. Form another molecule of CO2. This couples again with the formation of an NADH because electrons came from that C6 and were given to NAD+ and a hydrogen ion. Oh, that was horribly drawn. Take my time. So we've made a second NADH molecule, another electron carrier. Same exact reaction happens. causing that C5 to turn into a C4. Forming a CO2, coupling to the formation of yet another NADH. Now that we're down to the same number of carbons as our starting molecule, we're not going to lose any more C4s. But it is going to convert to different C4 molecules. We could show off and actually name them, but no need. It's going to go through 3 more reactions. First, we're going to see, undo that. First, we're going to see the formation of an ATP coupling to that C4, changing to a C4. It's picking up some energy to bond the phosphate to an ADP. The second reaction is going to couple to the formation of an FADH2. Also an electron carrier. That's unfortunate. Let's back that sucker up. Formation of an FADH2 from a FAD. And 2 hydrogen ions. This last little reaction is going to form another NADH. Same electron picking up, an electron pair getting picked up from here. Given to a NAD plus and an H plus. And there we have the Krebs cycle. If I were to thin this line out, choose that color. We're going to call this the Krebs cycle. Second part of cellular respiration, aerobic cellular respiration, involves a bunch of molecules that are embedded in this membrane. Undo. I want a thicker stroke. First we have this molecule, very large. It extends across the membrane on both sides. Molecule there. Another large molecule. A couple more molecules in her. Another large molecule. And then another special molecule. Special because of what he can do. Sitting right down there. So this NADH, maybe I'll stick with the same color. So this NADH is going to travel over here, and he is going to give off the 2 electrons he just picked up. And when he did, he turned right back into NAD plus and H plus. These guys are electron transport molecules. They're going to transport the electrons. He's going to give an electron to him. He's going to give an electron to him. He's going to give an electron to him, to him, to him, to him. We're just going to pass it down. A bunch of oxidation reduction reactions. Put in the 2 electrons right there. Oxygen picks up those electrons. Oxygen picks up those electrons. It's going to then bond with 2 hydrogen ions and form water. When these big blue guys, the 3 of them, when they pass the electrons, they steal energy to pump a hydrogen ion into this space that's between the inner and outer membranes. That's really the entire point of passing those electrons, is to take energy from them so we can pump these hydrogen ions. We want to create more hydrogen ions on this side of the membrane compared to this side of the membrane. We want to have a gradient. So as this gets pumped and pumped and pumped and pumped and pumped, all of these hydrogen ions end up with a lot more on this side. In comes our friend Mr. ATP maker. He's a protein gate who also has enzymatic abilities. As the hydrogen ions diffuse through the ATP maker, he takes some of the energy from the diffusion, high to low, giving off energy as you go down to a lower gradient side, lower concentration side. Energy is released. This is the energy that is used to fuel the formation of ATP. From an ADP, that's really poorly drawn, and a free phosphate. So they pick up energy and they use that to make the bond between this P and the rest of the molecule ADP to form ATP, 3 phosphates attached. It's the purpose of the Krebs cycle to make the natas to drop off those electrons so we can create the gradient so that they will diffuse down their gradient. When they diffuse down the gradient, they release their energy to be given to ATP, to ADP, and the P to form ATP. This is our cash cow of ATP production. This is what we care about. This is where we get 32 of the 36 ATP made by having all of those carriers made, some from glycolysis as well. When we add that ATP, the ATP made out in the cytoplasm, 36 total ATP. Should I maybe say Title that Aerobic. And this is the mitochondria matrix. Space in here.